Adam Wolfe, a paranormal investigator, is about to discover a hidden realm. His quest is inspired by the disappearance of his sister. The game entails putting together enigmas to discover a wider plot that may lead to the missing sibling or plunge them into a horrible abyss. The 4-episode Odyssey includes more than 8 hours of complicated gameplay, allowing players to discover secret groups, strange events, and ancient pacts. The game is a psychological thriller that needs brains, sharp investigative abilities, and a reliable 6-shooter. Army of Ruin is a thrilling auto-shooter game in which players guide legendary heroes on a quest to fight the armies of evil. Players can arm themselves with dangerous weaponry to easily defeat opposing swarms. Each hero's distinct skills may be used to turn battles in your favor. Players may improve their trinkets and gear, find amazing synergies, and increase their firepower. The game provides a fast-paced, exhilarating experience that emphasizes simplicity and fun. Players may acquire new equipment to boost their strength and complete difficult objectives. Ash Le Guin, a courageous pilot and top-tier mercenary, is on the verge of destroying a giant 90-ton mechanical beast in Root City. Jetlancer is a single-player campaign with 30 objectives, 11 enemies, and a unique opportunity to rescue the world. Players can modify their loadout with 28 different guns, cargos, and flying components. Accessibility features such as anti-fatigue control toggles, configurable dodge windows, an invincibility option, and the ability to disable screen wobble and flashes make everyone feel like an expert pilot. Son of a Gun is a top-down shooter game in which players can pick from 6 different heroes and fight a variety of adversaries. The game has a diverse selection of weaponry across 7 classes, allowing players to choose their battle style. They also have the option of using grenades to improve their tactical capabilities. The game takes set on several extraterrestrial worlds, each with its own ecosystem and problems. Insects, zombies, robots, and ghostly apparitions are among the more than 20 adversary kinds that players encounter. Zombies have taken over Los Angeles, bringing terror and worry on the once glamorous streets. The game boasts unstoppable shooting action, allowing players to blast, burn, and incinerate zombies with over 30 different weapons. The engaging story mode includes 18 distinct movies and 11 task types, with reels from each film unlocking additional cinematic masterpieces. In survival options, players may combat either alone or with companions thanks to 2 local co-op options. Over 70 outfits are available to personalize your appearance while fighting the flesh-eating creatures. Die for Valhalla is an action role-playing game in which players possess and control heroes and monsters in order to save Vikings. You must cross weird worlds where Norse mythology and Lovecraftian mythology mix as a Valkyrie. The game has 2 narrative modes, beat 'em up and roguelite, with the former introducing a wider landscape with a more relaxed difficulty curve and potions with beneficial or amusing effects. Roguelite mode creates a smaller world with a more challenging difficulty curve and permadeath. Local players can play alone or with pals. A Wake Walker comes from a frozen world, charged with solving the planet's mysteries and finding a way out. The game has a Souls-like journey with stages organized around checkpoints and unlocks shortcuts for continued progress. The Awake Walker faces many groups competing for control of the planet's resources, and alliances must be carefully chosen to have long-term implications for the globe and its population. The game has sophisticated riddles and buried mythology, and players may tailor their loadout to their desired playstyle. Toby, a fearless and inquisitive adventurer, goes on a terrifying expedition into a frightening realm. He meets several obstacles, including perilous cliffs and dark tunnels, as well as crafty foes and enigmas. To remain alive, Toby must outwit and outmaneuver his opponents. The realm bends and contorts, confounding his understanding of reality. Despite the hurdles, Toby's persistence propels him onward, bringing him closer to the truth. The issue remains, will Toby triumph over his foes and solve the enigmas, or will he fall to the darkness within? This curious adventure digs into the history of the post-apocalyptic world of Bifrostia, concentrating on the reasons for its demise and the need for the RO2 unit. The player must escape the rusty city of Ilgrot, where they must use the point-and-click approach to do so. Key elements include a basic point-and-click format, difficult puzzles that require intelligence, logical methods to overcome barriers, a distinct aesthetic, and a mesmerizing gearpunk atmosphere. Players must cross the lonely country and escape its grasp, while adhering to the game's distinct look. Farm Together is a farming game created by the designers of Avatar Farm. Players can begin with a modest plot and develop their farm from the ground up. They can raise food, plant trees, and care for animals, all while investing in new buildings and infrastructure. Players may remain as long as they wish, even if they aren't online, and experience unlocks hundreds of new goods. Players may run their farm alone, invite just friends to enter, or offer it to the public. A permit system restricts access to outsiders, preventing vandalism. Cyber Protocol is a cyberpunk-themed arcade puzzle game in which players mimic the main hero in order to resurrect his android comrade by activating the protocol. The game has 100 levels with various obstacles and traps, and it welcomes up to 4 people to join in on the fun. For an added rush, players may attack the system in arcade mode with limited lives, aiming to achieve the top 20 worldwide cyber hacking rankings. Nobunaga Oda, a young woman with great swordsmanship, emerges from a chaotic temple. The squad demonstrates their abilities by slaying adversaries with their swords and eliminating opponents with their ninjutsu skills. The Devoted Heart method, which is used to unify samurai and ninja, boosts their skills. The game has exciting combat that allow players to defeat the Demon Lord and build unbreakable relationships with their ninja partners. This exhilarating action game is headed by a strong female heroine who is proficient at sword fighting. G.I. Joe Operation Blackout is a third-person shooter in which players take on the roles of their favorite heroes from Team G.I. Joe and Team Cobra. In 4-player PvP and 17 epic campaign story missions, players may play with 12 characters. Players can use 18 weapons, 36 weapon skins, 12 different character skins, and a slew of devastating ultimate powers to battle for their side. In addition, the game incorporates a renowned franchise, allowing players to command iconic G.I. Joe Persuader and Cobra Hiss tanks in combat over classic settings. Trine 4: The Nightmare Prince is a complete version of the classic adventure game. The game elevates the series to new heights, providing an immersive gaming experience. Key features include magnificent 2.5D settings, local and online multiplayer, intriguing storytelling, and dynamic puzzle solving. Players can explore a range of stunning fairy tale locations, battling both terrifying foes and gentle creatures. The game also has dynamic puzzle solving, utilizing elements such as fire, air, light, magnets, and electricity to provide an entertaining experience for all players. Hero U Rogue to Redemption is a fantasy adventure game set in Hero University, where Sean O'Connor strives to be both a hero and a rogue. Throughout the day, Sean takes lessons, improves his abilities, and forms pals. At night, he must prepare himself with weapons, armor, and traps before venturing into the abandoned wine cellars, sea caverns, catacombs, and dangerous dungeons underneath Hero U. The game is a fascinating adventure with intriguing dialogue and descriptions that emphasize character development and role-playing components. Vaporum Lockdown is a grid-based dungeon crawler RPG set in a steampunk world influenced by classics. Ellie Teller, a scientist, is struggling to survive tragic occurrences in Ark's Vaporum's tower. First-person real-time combat, a unique stop-time mode, puzzles, and level-wide goals are all included in the game. To beat foes, players must employ a range of weaponry, gadgets, upgrades, and cunning tactics. The game has fully spoken protagonists and an authentic steampunk atmosphere.
In the face.